Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Sonic Frontiers, which is the new Sonic game that is slated to come out in Q4 of 2022. A pretty good amount of hype has been built around this game because it has a lot of unique features and a lot of unique things about it that have made it a lot different than other Sonic games, right? Now, one of the big draws of this game is that it's a fully open world game for players to explore and everything as Sonic, and it looks like a really cool concept, right? I mean, when you hear about it and when you have seen some of the things that they've promised for this game and like a lot of the stuff that just kind of details the all-around gameplay, it sounds like a really cool game, and it's actually one of the first Sonic games that has piqued my interest in probably well over a decade. I mean, when I was a kid, I played a lot more Sonic than I do now. I was really big into Sonic as a kid, but over the last few years especially, I've kind of gone away from Sonic, right? The last Sonic game that I can remember actually putting some time into is actually Sonic Mania. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've really been into the Sonic franchise, but Sonic Frontiers is the game that is drawing me back, in a way, to the franchise. I've been very excited about this game, you know, hearing about everything. I've been patiently waiting for some gameplay and stuff to drop, and, well, we officially did get 7 minutes of gameplay through IGN, and unfortunately, it was somewhat disappointing. It was genuinely somewhat disappointing, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys some of the gameplay here real quick, so you can get a little bit of an idea as to the things that I'm talking about with this, why it disappointed me. I don't want to obviously just talk about the things that bother me about this game without providing some insight on what it actually is. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and roll some of the gameplay. I'm going to clip up moments of it and whatnot so you can kind of see some of the different things that happen throughout it, because it is 7 minutes. I don't want to play the entirety of the gameplay and, you know, make this a 20-minute long video or something like that, but go ahead and take a look and we'll be back here to talk about it. So So, you see the gameplay, and this gameplay actually was quite controversial. A lot of Sonic fans are not very impressed by what they saw, and to be honest, I personally understand exactly why, because I'm in the same boat here. So the fan reception to this was probably not what Sega anticipated when this came out. I'm not really sure what the expectation was, what they really saw coming, what they thought was going to be beneficial for this game or anything, but personally, I'm just simply not impressed, man. I mean, I appreciate some of the things they tried to do, but the game just looks so unfinished at this point right now. Keep in mind, this game is not finished, you know what I mean? They still have months to go before the anticipated release date in Q4 of 2022. Personally, I think they're going to have to hold the game back a little bit more if they really want to finish this product and make it something worth playing, but that's just my personal 2 cents. So there's a lot of things, honestly, to criticize about this gameplay, okay? First and foremost, I do appreciate that they are doing like an open world kind of Sonic game, right? it is a cool concept. It does have a lot of things that it can bring to the gameplay, but this open world looks so dead. It looks like there's absolutely nothing to do in it, right? When you're making an open world game, right? And let's just take some other examples, right? Take a look at like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, right? You know, when you go around the map, and I haven't, you know, finished this game or anything, but when you go around the map and you explore, there's things to do. There's things to discover. There's things to interact with, you know? There's just a lot of stuff to do. But in this Sonic game, it doesn't really look like that's the case. I mean, you can run up walls, you can solve some pretty basic puzzles, you know, you can grind on rails and collect rings, but there's nothing really too appealing about the open world concept, you know, there's nothing really to it. I mean, there's no animals or really any forms of life that you can really see, and if there are, they're very, very scarce. And to be honest with you, the world design just doesn't really match up with what Sonic is, you know? I mean, when you look at like a traditional Sonic level, this draws no comparisons, you know? This has nothing about that Sonic feel to it. It just looks like a generic Unreal Engine map that got preloaded by somebody just messing around and they put a Sonic model in it, right? Personally, I would really appreciate the open world design a lot more if this was a Sonic-themed map, if this was a Sonic-themed world. That's what I'm playing. I'm playing a Sonic game, you know? To me, it feels like they looked at a game like Breath of the Wild and they just said, hey, let's try to replicate what they did with that. And of course, you know, with a lot of popular games that have come out in recent years that are open world, you know, your Red Dead Redemption 2s, your Breath of the Wilds, right? Games that, you know, kind of helped set new benchmarks for open world games. They did so by filling it full of stuff to do and giving it a unique charm about it that really immersifies you into the world. And in this, I really don't see that. On top of that, the gameplay just looks very slow and boring. Now, people have said that the reason it may look so slow and whatnot is simply because the people playing at IGN played it slowly and whatnot. That may be the case, but I mean, for this being the first exclusive gameplay or whatever that is supposed to be dropping, they need to be doing better when it comes to that, right? It just makes the game look worse, and it doesn't really provide as much entertainment to people trying to get good gameplay out of this, right? I'm just simply not too impressed with what I see here. It looks like a tech demo, if anything. That's what a lot of people have been saying, but it's really kind of true. This gameplay looks more about like, hey, look what we could do with an open world Sonic the Hedgehog game, and less about, hey, look at what we did do with an open world Sonic game, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's the way I kind of see it. Now, thankfully, there is time for them to do things with this game, right? They still have months of development time before an anticipated release date would even come. Hopefully, they spend those last few months at least chalking this game full of other stuff to do in this open world and maybe doing some redesigns. I mean, it's not like it's impossible. What you're taking a look at here is actually a Roblox fan game, and they managed to make a better Sonic open world looking game than Sonic, you know? It's not like what the fans' expectations are kind of driving is really impossible for them to do. It just seems like at this point, they haven't gotten to progress to that point, right? Honestly, I think this game would be better off if it were delayed a little bit longer. And by a little bit longer, push it into 2023, man. Do not release this game in Q4. This game needs a lot of TLC. It needs a lot of work done to it, and it needs a lot of things fixed and changed about it before this game is released. Because if it's released in this kind of state, then it's honestly going to be a disappointing game. And for a franchise as reputable and legendary as Sonic, it deserves better than that. So I guess the option now is to just kind of wait and see what's going on, see what they do change or fix about it, kind of, you know, see how development for the rest of this game ends up going, because that's really going to determine whether or not I end up getting this game. As of right now, I'm pretty unimpressed with what I'm seeing. I would give it like a 5 out of 10. I'm sure it's playable at the bare minimum, but it doesn't have the charm that it needs to have to really draw me in, man. And I'm not some massive Sonic fan, you know, this game isn't supposed to be catered directly to me, I guess, but I still feel like as someone who has been a casual fan of Sonic for a good portion of my life that I should be able to expect better out of what we've seen so far. Now, that's not to say that this game is dead in the water or that there's no chance that it ever gets fixed or changed, but they need to put the work in to actually do it if that's what's going to happen. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, not really impressed with the new Sonic game so far, and signing out.